That was Resilience Month, and what a month it's been. We've heard incredible tales from the likes of Douglas Bader, who despite losing both legs, came back to become one of the most successful pilots that Fighter Command had seen. We've heard from the ladies at the ATA, the Air Transport Auxiliary, that despite centuries of inequality, came back to achieve equal pay for equal work just by the strength and prowess of their action. And we've heard about Job Maseko, this tenacious, resilient and quite resourceful young man who single-handedly sunk a German cargo ship. Amazing examples. And the challenge for us now is how we can repurpose them and use them moving forward. Before we go on, as a coach, I have to acknowledge that you can't teach or coach resilience. Generally speaking, it is hard earned through life experiences. It can be incredibly painful, but a lot of the time it can be incredibly powerful. But one thing I have learned from the stories we've looked at this month is how important Douglas Bader's sense of acceptance was. He had made a huge mistake, but he didn't let it define him. He was able to accept it and be judged on how he acted moving forward. And I think that's a really powerful lesson for us. We all make mistakes. We all do things we regret. But if we can flip the script and have the mindset of, okay, I'm not going to be defined by that, but judge me by the strength of my actions moving forward. I think that that's such an important lesson for us all to take on board. Also, when I look back to the incredible stories of the ladies of the ATA, how important was it that they were there for each other throughout those hard times? And again, I really felt that's something we can take on board. Support is super important. Being able to express your feelings and not suppress them is a massive resilience factor that we can't underestimate. So perhaps you could connect with friends or family or maybe a teacher and just share some of the things that you're being challenged by. If you feel like there isn't that support network around you, then we'll share links in the comments to some incredible charities who can be there for you and can help. The point is, a problem shared is a problem halved. And also, when we're talking about support, it's important to have people around you, but perhaps it's important also to have the right people around you. So it's probably worth us for a second just to talk about influences. Who are those people you spend the most time with? When there was a time in my life when I was quite down, quite low and feeling really challenged, I heard this quote that really stuck in my mind, and that was, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Just let that sink in for a second. You are the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with. That quote led me to action, and I actually took the time of going through my messages, my messenger, my WhatsApp, and looking at who were the last people I was chatting with. Do I want to be the average of those people? Are they a good influence in this moment in time? Now, it's not a judgment on those people. Sometimes in life we grow, we develop, we change, we go off on new and exciting tangents, and we're not always aligned with the people we once were. That's no sort of damnation on who they are, but sometimes it's good to acknowledge that. And in that moment I realised that, do you know what, perhaps I need to try something new. So I reached out, started meeting new people, and actually that process has changed my life. So I think it's important we look at support, but also make sure we've got the right people around us. And finally, this month, something that strikes me from 3 stories we've shared is each of those people were able to stay optimistic and positive throughout times of challenge. And optimism is huge. Thoughts and feelings, they don't last forever, they are transient, they come and go, and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you just have to believe that. You just have to keep that faith, keep moving forward one step at a time, and I promise you life will get a lot better. As much as you can't teach resilience to anyone, I think what's important is for people to talk about it, to talk about those moments, and actually that shared knowledge can kind of signpost you to the next positive step. So a few years ago now, I was at the lowest ebb in my life. I was really challenged and I was struggling. And the reason I'm so passionate about these messages and lessons from the past is because their influence changed my life personally. I was able to flip the mindset of I'm an empty shell, I feel pretty worthless here, to I'm a blank canvas and anything is possible. And the question I ask myself is, what do I want to paint on that canvas? So is that something you could ask yourselves too? In an ideal world, if you're a blank canvas, what picture would you like to paint on it? Who would you like to be? What would you like to do? And like I say, connect with the fact that anything is possible. Be inspired by these people and be in tune with your own unique strengths. And that leads me nicely on to next month, because next month is going to be Strengths Month. And we're going to start tapping into the things that make us uniquely us.